Hello everyone, welcome to Flock of Nerds playing Star Fox.
Hello.
I'm Miles.
I love this picture. I'm Catherine.
So cute.
And
I want
love
a t-shirt of this, right?
Yeah, it's really cute. Oh my, look at this.
So there's 3 different things you can do. You can do level 1, level 2, or level 3. And it's 4 missions, and then the boss, Venom.
Okay.
So we're going to just start with level 1.
That makes sense. I like doing things in order.
The easy path.
So we're playing Star Fox because this is actually part of our half and half challenge. And
it's 5 video game related questions, 5 personal questions about different YouTubers.
Yeah. The first question is, what's a game you were skeptical about that ended up being fantastic? And your answer is...
this game, Star Fox. So originally I had never played like racing games, flying simulating games, and
that was an awful sound, just so you know.
Yeah. I wasn't into these games, but then I had so much fun playing Star Fox when I was a kid, and it opened my mind up, and I started playing other games.
And how does this game hold up for you now?
I played a little bit of it. It's not bad, obviously. It's still a good game, but it's not as good as I remember it being.
It looks a little bit...
It's a little dated, right?
Yeah.
But I can still do a barrel roll. Check this out. Oh,
right.
That's a barrel roll.
I'll get him, Ribbit.
Because your friends talk to you because you're all flying together?
Yeah, it's like Top Gun with animals.
Yes, exactly.
So that's pretty cool. My answer to this game was actually, I think maybe it was a PlayStation 2. I can't remember. It was Driver.
Oh, yeah.
But it might have been like Driver 2 for whatever one was on PlayStation 2. Because I bought the PlayStation, like I was one of those day one people, the PS2. And my sister's boyfriend at the time really wanted to play Driver, so I think we rented it. And I wasn't super into driving games or anything like that, but we started playing it, and it had like a really good story mode, and it was pretty challenging.
Oh, I'm at a boss.
Already, huh? It's a good time to answer question number 2. If you could have an item from any video game, what would it be? My actual answer is the green 1-up mushroom that everyone says. But then I was starting to think, I'm like, I don't know if I want to live like a whole other life. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I feel like I might be done after like hopefully 80, 90 years, however long I'm gonna live.
That's like the curse of vampires. Do you?
Because if you know that you're gonna just get another life afterwards, then you're not gonna do everything you want to do in this life. And I want to live life to the fullest. That's my plan. And it's the fear of death and having only one life to live that will force me to do these things. So my backup answer, I think, is what you call the pity suit from Super Mario 3D World, but it's that white Tanuki suit that basically lets you live forever. So instead of getting a new life, it's gonna just prolong the one that I have. You were all excited because you thought of an awesome item that you think no one had really mentioned before.
Do you know what I want? I want one of those Katamari balls. So anytime our apartment gets messy or anything, I can just roll it all up in a Katamari ball.
Oh my gosh.
And then make it into a star.
Guys, we would have like our own little galaxy of stuff if we had the ability to roll stuff up like a Katamari.
Or people annoy me, put them in the roll them up in that little Katamari ball.
Number 3, what is the best video game related gift you've received from a friend? Mine's really simple, and it's like from you. And you're always so nice.
I thought we were more than friends, Catherine.
Well, okay, it's just a gift from someone, and you are someone.
It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
You are someone, and you bought me a Nintendo 3DS, the one that looks like the retro Nintendo controller, and
It's the one you wanted.
I know, but I felt really guilty because you bought me my regular DS when they came out, and you bought me a PSP when they came out, and then I never end up playing them that much.
The best video game gift I got was actually from my parents, which was the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
But if it has to be a friend, I was going to say an invite to Buns, because I got a lot of video games on Buns. And
that's an indirect video game related gift.
A friend from work, Taggart, who invited me on Buns.
And what is a game you really enjoy but no one else seems to know about?
I got a game for the TurboGrafx so naturally not a lot of people know about it because not a lot of people have that system, was Bloody Wolf. It's just, I think it's one of the best games on the system for sure, and a lot of
Did you get it as a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As a kid, and I loved it. It was one of the few games that held my attention until I finished it. Like it was one of those games where I was like, I could finish this. I know I could finish it, and I got to give it a try, and I did it eventually. But I didn't finish a lot of games when I was a kid, so that was a kind of
a lot of games are really hard to finish. Including a game that was hard for me to finish was Impossible Mission, and we played it on the Commodore 64. And I feel like there are people who know this game, but you just don't talk about Commodore 64 games that much. But when we were at the Build-A-Q, I was like nerding out about Commodore 64 with Kevin from Buried on Mars, because it was his system as a kid as well, like his first real computer thing, and he knows Impossible Mission. We were talking about how great that game was, because it really is an awesome game. So what game do you think deserves a sequel or modern remake? I will go. I've talked about this game. I've mentioned it before. I think maybe when we're playing Clock Tower. But I played a game on PC computer, like Pentium, whatever. It was a Sierra game that was a lot like their point-and-click adventures. It was called The Colonel's Bequest, but it was a little bit different, right? It was still like talking to people, clicking on items, finding the right combination of actions to do to advance the story. But it was unique in that every 15 minutes there would be a cutscene that would show you something happening elsewhere in the mansion or on the grounds. And you were kind of like piecing together like information and trying to get yourself in the right place at the right time so that you would witness the right things. If they remade it now, it would be a unique gaming experience, different from your regular point-and-click adventures. What game do you want remade?
Oh man, we've been talking about this for a while. I don't know if we talked about it on camera, but one of the most annoying things about some of the games that we used to love is that they're actually unplayable on new TVs. You have to play them on CRTs.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like Bust a Groove, which was a dancing game that we loved.
Yeah.
And we have it, except we just can't play it.
Can't play it on
because we need
TV.
Exactly, we need a CRT. So I don't even need them to do a sequel. I don't need them to update the graphics even. Just make it playable.
100% correct on this. Yeah.
On HD TVs.
Yeah, like, I want to be able to play Bust a Groove. I want to be able to play Parappa the Rappa.
Yeah, it's the boss stage.
Yeah. It's really hard to tell. Are you just is the boss just a big ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just some big shapes.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna play level 2.
It only really changes when you get past the first stage anyway. The first stage is always the same, I think.
Oh, okay. Our last resort is to counterattack Venom. Good luck. Okay. Oh.
Good luck. So there's a whole other side of this half and half.
Oh, yeah.
The other side, of course, is Cream. So the first personal question is, what's your favorite musician or band?
No brainer for me, it is Radiohead.
You like them?
I feel like everyone probably has a band that they were at some point in their life super obsessed about, and that's Radiohead for me. Anyone who knows me knows that. So
my all-time favorite band's got to be Nirvana. I love the Nirvana. Kurt Cobain, great voice, amazing songwriting. What's something you really liked as a kid but don't care for now?
I kind of like struggled because there was like a lot of the stuff that I was thinking of, like, well, it's stuff that I don't like because I'm an adult now, right? Like Care Bears or Smurfs or something like that. Like, but when I thought about it, I'm like, actually, you know what? Monopoly. Yeah. I played a lot of Monopoly as a kid. There weren't a lot of board games, and Monopoly was like a staple in most people's houses. And
they had a monopoly on board games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, for me, I was going to say 90s cartoons. Like, I used to love watching cartoons when I was a kid, like late 80s, early 90s cartoons, Saturday morning. And I've tried to recently go back and watch some of them, and they're no good. they're not as interesting as they once were. A lot of them are shoddily made, and I don't care for them. Also, Star Fox.
Oh no!
All right, Catherine, what's something dumb you did as a teenager?
I was a good student. Like, I got good grades and stuff, but I hated school. So back in our day, when you turned 18, you could sign yourself out of class. And so, like, you no longer needed a note from your parents to, like, be excused from class. And calculus was the last class of my day, of the day. So if you saw my attendance record, I would have, like, maybe 10 absences in a semester for all my classes, except for calculus. I had 20. Because I kept signing myself out. Or I had just one shy of whatever you were allowed before not being able to get the credit. I was one shy of that, and I was like, oh, I can't skip this class anymore. So that was something stupid I did.
I think I was like probably like 20, not necessarily a teenager, but I got drunk once and got my hand caught in an escalator.
Oh, it's such a terrible story.
And I had to rip it out and get stitches, and
I died.
Went to the hospital.
Look
Whoa!
how angry this guy is.
That guy is what's that
like,
enemy called? The poison, or?
He's got disembodied hands.
So I blacked out on the subway, and some lady found me and told me she was my guardian angel and took me to a hospital where I got stitches on my hand.
It's a pretty incredible scar that you have that looks like an escalator. Like, you know how they're kind of grooved? The escalators kind of got teeth. So it looks like your hand was bitten by some giant metal-toothed monster. And I encourage anyone who meets Miles in person to ask him to take a look. There are people that... you met someone
for the first time
who had heard this story about you and were like, are you the guy with the escalator? Can I see the scar? And it was like all very nice and innocent. It's just like, it's a pretty intense story if you hear it from people who know it, you know, first or second hand. All right, so number 4, what did you want to be when you grew up?
You know what? I gotta go with filmmaker. I mean, I always would make like home movies.
So how old were you when you were really into film? Like when you started to get into film?
13, 14.
Okay, so this is like early teens.
Early teens,
Okay.
I got like a SVHS camera, and I would film Frasier.
Yeah,
doing
fun little home movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But like actual written scripts and stuff, would you do, or?
Yeah, we would write scripts. I guess you can call them that. They were.
But, I mean, they were narrative. They weren't just like do something funny on camera.
Yeah, it wasn't Jackass.
I went further back in my childhood because as a kid, like a very little kid, like my answer was always 100% the same. Like anyone could ask me, and I'd always say zookeeper. Oh. I loved animals. I loved elephants, and I was like, I want to work in a zoo. I want to work in the elephants, and
you want to work inside the elephant.
I want to work in the elephant cage or enclosure. Until my oldest sister said, you know, if you're going to be a zookeeper, you're going to have to just clean up elephant poop all day. And then I got really upset, and I said, I don't want to clean up poop all day. So that killed that dream. And then I had no backup plan, and so I just lived the rest of my life with like no vision for my future, no goals. I blame my sister for this. And so the last question that we have to deal with, the last question for us to answer, if you could go back and do one thing different, what would it be? I think for me, like I said, I wasn't the best student, but I did go to university. I mean, I got pretty good grades, but I just did not like being in school. And I feel like if I could go back, I would have taken a year off and either worked or traveled a little bit, saved up and traveled.
I wish I got into YouTube a little earlier.
Oh.
That I feel like getting in the ground floor would have been good.
Or we would be at a more polished form of this channel. We're terrible at Star Fox. We've learned this now.
Yep.
Although, I feel like maybe if there was a new, like, if we tried the Wii U version, I don't know. I've not read any reviews or anything.
I heard it's not that good
okay.
from people, but Creeplead seemed to like it. So, speaking of Creeplead, we're going to tag 3 people, and he's going to be the first one. Who else do you want to tag, Catherine?
I think we thought about Retro Pixel, because I think we've met him a couple times, and I think it would be cool to see his background in gaming and also learn a little bit more about him.
I would agree with that as well.
And, back to this.
And definitely Brian checks in as well. He has a new channel, but he's been around for a long time. So Brian checks in. We will tag you too.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think it would be fun. Hopefully they'll do the video so we get to learn more about them. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, take care.
Bye.